Hey everybody, so today is one of my favorite videos to film, and this is perfume rotation. Perfume related videos are my bread and butter, so to say, the bread and butter of this channel, and I really enjoy filming them. So today we're going to talk about wonderful, beautiful, decadent, really great winter fragrances. And I do these seasonal videos all the time. I do my fragrance rotation videos, and right now they're really coinciding. So instead of doing a fragrance rotation and a seasonal video, it's just one and the same for right now for me. Doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, but for now, really these two videos need to be meshed together in this particular one. This year, what am I gravitating towards in fragrances? I'm finding myself reaching for heavier, more serious fragrances, for fragrances that are quite well constructed, things that are authentic, and obviously my recommendations are genuine. A lot of these, quite a few of these, I have 5 on hand to show you today, are actually fragrances that I've already spoken about on my channel plenty and have mentioned in previous years and winter videos. And that doesn't change because fragrances really they grab onto our brains and memories, and they have very strong associative quality to them. They are able to just ingrain themselves into you. And if you love a fragrance, chances are, unless you overwear it, you're going to love it forever. I never overwear my fragrances because my fragrance collection is ridiculous. So let's dive into that. First and foremost, of course, I mean, who wouldn't have expected to see this little baby over here? This is Coco, the Parfum from Chanel. This is such a winter go-to for me. I don't remember the time when I wasn't using it. I was probably a child when I wasn't using it. I've been using it for probably over a decade at this point. Not this particular bottle. Clearly, I've repurchased it. But I like to get it in a small format. This particular format is really what is pleasing to me, and I am able to get through it before it goes rancid. So this is a must-have, in my opinion. This is one of those classic fragrances that you cannot go wrong with. Who is this not for? It is not for people who don't like classic fragrances. This is a fantastic vintage-inspired, clovey, slightly spicy, slightly soapy, very elegant Angora sweater kind of fragrance. That's how I've described it in the past. And it's just one of those comfort scents for me. And I imagine that's probably a comfort scent for a lot of people of my generation, because our moms and grandmas would have probably worn something like that or that. It's just a soft, very extremely elegant, extremely sophisticated scent, and it is so comfortable, so comforting. It is very warm in quality, warming, and in the end, very cozy for sure. It's a very cozy scent. I am loving wearing it. I've been wearing it for months now, since probably late November is when I pulled it. I do need to rearrange my rotation, but I first wanted to talk about these ones that are so deep winter appropriate. And then we have another return customer, so to say. We have By the Fireplace by Replica by Maison Margiela Paris. This guy is extremely famous. I've been using it for years, ever since it came out, really. This is my second bottle in total. My husband loves the scent of this, and I think this is one of those scents that is truly extremely unisex and appropriate for any winter occasion, mostly because it smells like a burning fireplace, and this is a very pleasing smell for a great majority of people. So likely, if you're going to gift it to somebody, it's not going to be hated, whether it's for a male or for a female. It just has this really elevated, uplifted, sophisticated quality to it. And here its provenance and period is a Chamonix on 1971, and they describe it as burning wood and chestnut. And I agree, this is exactly what it smells like. And the promise is not in vain. This is exactly what it claims to be. And it is comfortable and comforting and beautiful and constructed in the most flawless manner. Very impressed with the fragrance. I think a true gem and definitely worth your attention. Another fragrance that is, again, definitely worth your attention is Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. This is one of the tamest pieces of their exclusives collection. If you know their exclusives collection, there's some really, really out there cool and interesting scents. This is one of those that is also good for everybody. I do see it on men, I do see it on women. It's truly as well a unisex scent. It does have, well, as advertised, this strong tobacco note, a strong vanillic note. All of this meshes into a feeling of luxurious lamb leather. There is a softness to it. There's a soft side to the fragrance. There's a harder side to the fragrance with the tobacco and the seriousness of the tobacco note, really referencing maybe an old library. I already spoke about this one. And this is something that I think is a very, very elegant scent. I used to kind of feel like it was a little bit more kapow than serious working, say, environment, but I take that back. I do think that this scent can be very, very sexy, but in a busty woman wearing a tuxedo without a blouse sort of way, you know what I mean? Like Saint Laurent suit kind of sexy, not Marilyn Monroe dress kind of sexy. So there's a very elevated quality to it. It isn't serious, but there's something going on underneath. So I think it's actually quite a work-appropriate scent, which has surprised me because previously I wore it for nighttime only. I found that when applied very lightly, this scent works beautifully for everyday occasions. And you smell extremely expensive when you wear that. If smelling expensive is something you're after, for me it's like a pleasant side effect, but it isn't something I'm actually after. But if smelling expensive is something you're after, buy yourself some tobacco vanille. All I have to say, it better smell expensive because it is expensive. And I've been reaching a lot for it because it is a very simple fragrance to wear, and depending on the dose, it very easily transitions from day to night. So, you know, one spray applied lightly and you're good to go for daytime, but then you add an additional spray after your day is over and you put some red lipstick on and you go out, go for dinner, go to a club, go to a gala opening, whatever you do. Like, I wish your life was that exciting, mine is not. But if you need a fragrance that it will definitely work very easily day to night transition wise, then Tobacco Vanille is definitely one of those. So much more wearable than I initially really thought it was going to be, and I was very happy with it. Then we have this guy, which I'm sharing with my husband actually. This is a very interesting scent. I actually purchased it for him, but I've been reaching for it this season as well. This is, of course, as you can see, one of the Bond No. 9 fragrances, and this is Manhattan. I have a difficult relationship with Bond No. 9 fragrances. I respect the brand tremendously, and I think they have some really interesting scents available in their lineup. But for me, it's very, very difficult to make judgments on the whole line without having tried, if not all, most of the fragrances. And the ones I've tried had been kind of hit and miss for me. But this one I really saw on my husband and apparently now on me. And I definitely grabbed for it because it was a very interesting scent. There is a gingerbread coziness to it that for sure is there, and this is going to be the case for all the fragrances for winter. I want something warm, warming, and comfortable and cozy and easy to pull off. I'm looking for functionality and cozy. So this guy really does a good job with that, I think. Like I said, there is a bit of an edge to it, which leans a little masculine, but then there's this bit of sweetness. There's a bit of a floral flavor that is very lightweight and adds to the volatility of the scent. And there's this gingerbread cinnamony thing going on as well that is very pleasant. So very interesting scent and a very enjoyable one. I think if you're looking at Bond No. 9, you should check out Manhattan and see whether that is something up your alley. It's a denser scent, so the gingerbread that is in here is a denser, heavier kind of dough, but very, very pleasant and rather nice, especially if you're buying for a guy in your life. I think hard to miss out with this one, and it wears rather well. it does wear into something ever slightly more masculine, which is really wonderful if you want to create an impression of a strong, dynamic character, whether you're a female or a male. But there's this really cozy softness to it that just brings it back and pulls it back into very wearable realm for me. So certainly, I think a good pick if you're interested in Bond number 9. The last thing I'm going to mention is probably my favorite find. Obviously, we're not going to compete with Coco Chanel because that's such a classic. But really, this is what I've been reaching for the most. And it's a really interesting shape of a bottle. But I've been wearing this a ton. I got a 30 ml of Kenzo Amour at the Perfume. And I've been interested in Amour online for a long time. I've been really searching for a fragrance that super fits me, and Amour, or the classic Amour, really does a good job with that. There's also Amour Elixir, which I'm probably going to purchase as well. Slightly different, but the same kind of a flavor, the same realm of a scent. But this is beautiful. Of course, the bottle is very pretty, and I believe that the colors are different depending on the size that you get. My size is 30 mils, and it comes in this beautiful raspberry red, which is a really beautiful pop of color, especially if you have minimalist decor, like I do. If you do like displaying your bottles, this is great. And also it is opaque. I really love light opaque bottles because they do keep your fragrance good for longer. I wish all bottles were light opaque, but obviously sometimes you could just like seeing the liquid inside, and that's one of the selling points. This, however, has this added little bonus, so to say. And let's talk about the scent itself. The packaging is pretty, but if you don't close it the right way, it doesn't actually fit, so you need to match it, which is annoying. I wish that was not the case, or I wish it was maybe magnetized so that it slips into place, because it is annoying to try and find the right angle. However, again, scent itself, this is magical. If you love a cozy sweet vanilla, this is a good sweet vanilla that doesn't reference a bakery. There's a dry rice note to it that elevates it to levels of sophistication not seen by a lot of the, unfortunately, not seen by a lot of the really sweet, yummy, edible vanillas of the current production year, I suppose, 2018, 2019. There's a lot of really, really sweet vanillic fragrances that smelled a bit plasticky cheap. This is not one of them. This is quality through and through. A really beautiful composition. The combination of notes, I have to film a separate video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the combination of notes comes across as rather sweet and vanillic and cozy, but this is elevated 15 points. You know, this is a fragrance that seeps class. It is elegant. It is a little winky face maybe sometimes, and it is just comforting and comfortable, and there's this comforting attraction and sexiness to it that is rather lighthearted and playful, but not childish at all, which I don't like fragrances that are childish, because I actually don't find them sexy. I find them childish. It cannot be sexy. So this is one of those vanillic fragrances that I am super recommending if you do like that type of a scent. And if you just want to elevate your vanilla game, this is a good one. I will film a separate video on it with a whole wrap up of how I feel about the scent. You know that I love it, so expect this one to be probably in the next fragrance video. I'm definitely going to talk about it because I've worn it for maybe 3 months now, and it's been a really faithful favorite for me. I've certainly adapted it into my fragrance wardrobe quite heavily, and it is on very, very heavy use rotation for me right now. I see it going into spring as well. I haven't experimented with it in the summer, but I will try it in the summer and see how it plays with the heat and report back on that as well. But for now, I think if you are looking for a sweeter, elegant and eloquent vanilla, try Kenzo Amour. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that's it for today. I hope it was fun for you to watch the video. And what thoughts do you have on the fragrances that I've mentioned? Also, leave me down below which ones are your favorite winter scents, and what are you reaching for the most this season, and how's that going for you? Obviously, tell me if you've tried any of my recommendations and how you feel about them. That's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck. Have a fun time and see you guys later. Bye.